The environment, the ambiance takes you to a place you've never been before. You know, so you're supposed to be in Saigon in the 1920s, so that's what we hope to deliver to the customer that comes to dine. We want it to be comfortable, to be warm, to be inviting.
The food is Vietnamese food. It's not fusion food. It's not French.
We've kind of taken what Argyle Street has naturally, and we've just moved it to the Gold Coast.
We try to bring Vietnamese food, but on an upscale level. Most of the food is based on traditional dishes. Some of the items you eat here at Lake Colonial, if you go to Vietnam, you may see those same items with the same names. Red snapper is very good. It's a whole red snapper served with a spicy sour sauce. And then on the appetizers, traditional spring rolls served with lettuce and herbs for wrapping.
It's a consistent spot, stays true to form, and we plan on keeping it that way for as long as it'll let us keep our lease.
So Juan, you're telling us that Le Colonial has a really great vibe. Tell us why you chose it.
It's one of those many restaurants on Rush Street that people, I think, tend to overlook sometimes, because there's Gibson's, there's Carmine's, there's Hugo's Frog, but there's all these other choices to go to. I think it's one of the sleekest restaurants on the street. It's very trendy. I think they serve food that's uncomparable to any other restaurants around there. I think it's very unique, and it is located in such a hustle and bustle neighborhood. You know, it's kind of a getaway once you go in there. It's like a resort once you walk in, because it's just so, I don't know, it is cozy. Yeah, it's secluded from all the madness that's going on outside, and the food, and you know, just the whole decor, everything in there just makes it seem so. It is an experience. You know, something you wouldn't get from other places in the city when it's such a bustling neighborhood.
I love the interior. I mean, it's completely just a throwback. It's colonial all the way. I actually went up and looked at the bar, and it's great. Looked like an opium den. You know, never been into one, but it's as close as I could get, I'm sure. But the location is wonderful. It's great for people watching. There's a combination of complete freaks and, you know, overdressed, shoddy-looking women who walk by. It was just great. I mean, the cuisine was really good. I mean, anytime you throw in, you know, Julianne Hickam, man, I'm all over it. So the staff was wonderful. I mean, to the point where they knew exactly, you know, when tea had run out of a teapot, you know, which was phenomenal. So it was a nice mix of people, all the way from people I would never affiliate with, all the way to jeans and T-shirts sort of guys who were sitting there hanging out. So I loved it. I thought it was great.
Margaret, what did you think?
I enjoyed it very much. First, we actually were seated when we entered on the first floor, right at the corner. And I guess, you know, it was nice, but it didn't do anything for me. And then I went upstairs, I had to go to the restroom, and I seen this whole other world on the second floor, and I'm like, oh my God, I love it. And it was so romantic. You had candles everywhere. I mean, I guess in the evening you have to go like when it's nice and dark outside, so this way you can just, the whole ambiance is there, and it's so beautiful. And I love flowers. I'm a big fan of real flowers on like a table, and they had those pretty little orchids, and I just thought it was so beautiful, and the food was really good too. And I actually had those appetizers, which were the beef rolled in a flat rice noodles. That was divine. I mean, it was such a balance of sweetness and with the beef and everything. I think it just went superb. And a lime garlic sauce, I think it was just phenomenal too.
I had that as well, and the noodle was so paper thin. It was just, you know, it was an afterthought.
The only thing that I didn't like was the actual presentation of the food. I expected to be more like colorful. I ordered a chicken, and I just had like big pieces of chicken with eggplant, mango, the curry sauce. That was phenomenal. I mean, it was really good. But it just, I enjoy looking at the, you know, I guess I eat with my eyes before I taste it, and it just didn't do it for me. I was looking at it, I'm like, you know, I was expecting a little bit more.
I actually had the chicken as well, but it was infused with some peppers and whatnot. It was actually really good. The portion sizes were not huge, which is kind of unstereotypical of Asian food. You know, it's usually you walk in, you're going to bust. We had the Vietnamese spring rolls, which are great. I mean, the only thing that was really missing is the sauces they gave you didn't really kind of have the palatable punch that I was expecting or was looking for. It was a little bland. But I also had Vietnamese coffee, and it's freshly brewed. They take the top off, you stir it up, and it just smacks you in the face with the coffee, and then that sweetness kind of trickles down, and you know, it's manna from heaven.
So Juan, what do you like to order when you go there?
The bouillabaisse. That's my favorite dish there. My fiance took me there for the first time when I was feeling sick. She's like, you gotta try some of this. It's amazing. I was like, I'll try it. You know, I generally don't like too much coconut in my soup, but that thing was, with the saffron, it was amazing. And they had like a whole lobster in there. It was like a tiny little pot. And then there's like just a, you know, it was like an array of sea creatures. And I was like, whoa, there's like 6 more mussels in this thing, you know? And there's like a claw sticking out, and then they give you a whole side plate of like noodles and Thai basil, you know? I love to like, I guess like this have like accessories for food. And I love to like kind of you know, jazz up my dish with the little, you know, add-ons, like the garnishes, you know. I love edible garnishes, you know. I think that's the whole point of it.
Well, you know, I think many people be tempted to say that just because it is on Rush Street, it can't be as good as the places on Argyle. But they actually have a, you know, Vietnamese chef that's been there for 9 years, Quoc Lam. And so, you know, I mean, how do you defend the restaurant when people say, oh, it can't be as good as Argyle?
Well, I tell them, you know, they try to gourmet, like the genre, I guess, of Vietnamese food.
Well, it was very non-traditional because there's no half a duck on a menu. You know, I mean, it's very, you know, they kind of break away from the stereotypes that you would have about upscale Vietnamese restaurants.
And they do try to use, like, I guess, lesser-known ingredients to Vietnam, you know.
Yeah.
So why don't you pick Le Colonial? Give us your summary.
Great getaway from the madness of Rush Street. I think it's definitely a special occasion place to go to for Vietnamese food.
All right, Margaret?
Very exotic. Definitely will go back. Excellent cuisine. Just can work a little on the presentation.
All right, Chris?
Wonderful, tucked away in a hustling, bustling area. Check out the opium den that's upstairs.
All right, you can bask in the beauty at Le Colonial, 937 Rush Street, 312-255-0088. Open for lunch and dinner every day. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $35.